Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy DD75. It's Akafet. Today we had another episode of Married at First Sight, unanswered questions. This episode wasn't one of the best episodes for me, but it still had a good few talking points. Basically, but let's get into it. We got Virginia and Eric. Virginia and Eric, when basically they met with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Carl. So then they had the conversations with them, and some of the issues they were having, they brought it up where she spoke about the dog, how Eric wants to train the dog better, wants the dog to be more disciplined, and she's having an issue with the way he comes across, with the way he gives the message to her, which makes a lot of sense to me. Eric, from the last episode, episode 13, Eric just got on my bad side because that man is, I don't know, he's so controlling. He's not husband material. That's just my opinion. He's not husband material because he's a little too aggressive. He does stuff. He realized that Virginia is broken, and I think he's just taking that to his advantage. Basically, that's what I think about him. Because if he realized that Virginia is broken, he should try and help her. Not like the last time when they had that conversation, he told her that if she don't like what's going on, she can just get out. You know, Eric, that's not the way. Like he acts more like a parent than a husband. But the issue with the dog, I understood it a little bit where he said he wants the dog to be a little more disciplined because that dog is, well, sad to say the dog is like Virginia. It's all over the place. But yeah, but it's just the way he comes across with his messages. He's a little too harsh, and he has to realize that Virginia is a woman. Women have feelings, and then they spoke about that. She spoke about that with Dr. Pepper, and no, sorry, she spoke about that with Pastor Carl, and then he had a conversation with Dr. Pepper, and then she spoke about she not wanting to have kids. But in a way, I disagree with Pastor Carl when Pastor Carl tell her she would be a good mom, like she should have kids, she shouldn't be afraid to have kids. No, no, no. Virginia needs to get that drinking habit under control, or maybe even stop. And she also needs to get that partying attitude out of her because she likes to party for her boys. So for me, that would hinder like if they have a child, it will hinder them from raising the child correctly because they might always be arguing, they might always be fighting, she might always be drinking, and she don't want to leave and go to a friend's house, probably get drunk and fall asleep on the couch. So it's just not a good idea for them to rush into having kids. I think her idea of waiting to have kids is a good idea, but she might not want to have kids, which for me, look, the outside looking in is fine because the two of them, they need to take their time on deciding where they're going with this marriage and if they're going to have kids or not. But Eric Eric is he's a little too much. Like he talks to Virginia like like I said, he's a parent. And he needs to fix himself. He should have fixed himself because he's keep on talking about why in his past that he can't keep a woman. Like I think that's one of the issues with him. But he needs to fix himself before he actually try to go forward with Virginia. Both of them need to fix themselves because both of them are broken. They are both broken. And then basically that's what it was really about between the two of them. Her sister came by the kids and she had that conversation with her sister, but her sister came across like an enabler to me a little bit. Like she's more or less for Virginia. And like she would not see otherwise. So whatever Virginia does, I think she would just support Virginia. Then we have Ryan and Clara. Their interview was I was a little lost because I think Clara is delusional. Clara is like the relationship is going great, it's going good, and she would give it a 10 because they ask her what would she rate the relationship. She would give it a 10. How can you rate a relationship at 10 and you cannot even have a conversation with Ryan about how you feel about him emotionally or sexually? You cannot express your feelings to him, and then it's like he takes her whatever she says to me, he takes it with a grain of salt in a way. That's just how I feel about it. Because Ryan wants to be a perfectionist. Ryan is all about himself. Like everything you tell Ryan is like basically to him, he's a perfectionist. they did have that conversation about religion and the kids. And Clara is not a religious person. Ryan is a religious person. So to me, that's already a red flag, because they would be having issues about when they're going to raise their kids. Because one guy is religious and she is not religious. So I don't know how they're going to fix that situation. It just wouldn't work. But I don't know how Clara can say she can give that relationship a 10. I was rather lost. I even Googled that to see what, like, how can she come up with a 10? Because that's how lost I was. But no, Clara, you can't, like, Pastor. I happy Pastor Carl told her and called her out and not and told her like she needs to express her feelings to him, because if she doesn't express her feelings to him, it don't make no sense. Why stay in a marriage and you can't express your feelings to him? Ryan, I've never said he's been in love. He's never been. I guess he's never been in love. I've been in love, but not Ryan. So that whole situation in Clara and Ryan, it don't make no sense. It don't make any sense to me. I think they should just go their separate ways, and that marriage will not last, because she said if he don't say he love her within 6 months, she's out of there, which makes a lot of sense. I don't think Ryan will say it in 6 months. And Clara is a little delusional. She's just trying to please Ryan, and she's not. I think mentally she's just like overwhelmed with that whole situation, so she's just trying to just please Ryan basically. But it don't make much sense to me. Then we have Haley and Jacob. Um, Haley and Jacob, I didn't pay much interest in that, the two of them. I think they just need to just go the separate ways, like right now. The two of them, they're just not compatible. Jacob attention span to Haley is really short. He doesn't listen to Haley. He don't try to listen to what she have to say, listen to her reactions, listen to. He's just not interested. Let's just put it as that. Because the last episode where she won the go-kart race and like she was like, she was all up in arms. He was just like, that man has no expression to me. And the thing that baffles me is he's still trying to smash. Why is he still trying to smash? I have no idea. When he and Haley have never had that connection where, like they get to the point where they float in and they're in bed and they want to get it in. But he's that man. That man emotions is just. I don't think he's good at showing his emotions. I don't think he's good at probably having a conversation with a woman. And I guess probably because from the start she never paid any interest in him. He lost every like motion in him to give it a try and basically put more effort into it. But it don't make no sense to me. That's it for me with the two of them. And let's talk about the man of the hour. The man of the hour. I call him action packing Chris Williams Jackson, because that man is a clown. I think that man is the biggest clown I've seen on television so far. That man was lit for his meeting with Pastor Carl. That's one. If I was Pastor Carl, I would say, hey, when he got there, I'd tell him, take your checkered pants, your ashy ankles, because every time you wear pants, his ankle showing you. Take your checkered pants, your ashy ankles, your $5 Walmart shirt, and then go get a haircut and then come back and talk to me. Because Chris, my word, Chris doesn't care about nobody but himself. That's why I call this alive the super narcissist. And Chris is a perfect example of a super narcissist. Chris don't care about nobody but himself. He blames everybody. He blames everybody for whatever issues he's facing in his life, and he doesn't blame himself or look at himself. When Pastor Carl spoke to him and asked him about Paige, like what really was the issue with you and Paige? He talked about old Paige face. You're not attracted to Paige face, but you can have sex with her every night. Does that make any sense? That don't make no sense. How can you not be attracted to her, but you want to have sex with her every night? And then you talk about, pages this, pages that. And sometimes I wonder, where was Chris for this season? Like up to episode 14, where was Chris? Was Chris on another planet? Where was Chris? And I'm happy Pastor Carl called him out and told him, like, his behavior is not good enough. Like he never tried, and then he's like, oh, he tried to get to get attracted to Paige, but he couldn't. Come on, Chris. You must have tried to like probably look good like to yourself, but to everybody else, everybody saw the bullshit, the BS from you, Chris. And Chris, I think I don't know, Chris making men like us, black men, look bad because Chris is garbage, and not all black men are like Chris. So let's just look out for when you see they wearing those pants and they have those ashy ankles. Maybe they might be a Chris. So just be careful. Make sure you look at the man ankles. Make sure you got some shea butter on them ankles because them ashy ankles and them pants you always wear what you see. What you can see, you know, until someone, I don't know why his mom never probably talked to him and tell him get a damn haircut. Because I don't know, something wrong with his hair too. Chris, everything about Chris is just disturbing to me. I don't know. Then we got Paige. Paige is still, you see, he got to Paige so much that Paige is still feeling as if she's the one to be blamed for that whole situation. And that's really sad that Paige have to think that she's still the one that causing the marriage not to probably go as she wanted it to. And it's because of what Chris did to her. And when she was in that pink dress, she had a little weave going. Paige, the weave was there. The weave. I don't know. Something was really wrong with the weave in that pink dress. I'm just saying because I've seen better weaves. I don't know. But when it got to that whole situation with she was talking to Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper called, told her that she shouldn't be treated like that. She shouldn't allow a man to treat her like that. She said Chris is a narcissist. When he brought up that situation with he, Mercedes, and Chris buying the Mercedes for Mercedes, like he was Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper was real. She told, she came real, and then she said that he was just trying to probably make her jealous. It didn't work, but Chris, he's done so much to Paige. Like Paige feels like, oh my God, like she's still feeling like I said she's the one to be blamed. When Pastor Carl spoke to Chris and told Chris when he brought Mercedes, when he bought Mercedes the car, Chris was like, oh, he offered Paige to come. Who in their right mind would go with the husband and supposedly soon to be baby mama to buy a Mercedes? And what did he think that would have accomplished? But anyway, let's just get into it because I got my girl up here with me. Hey Kia, what's up? Thanks for the chat, Jin. I really appreciate that. Let's get into it, Kia, because that episode it was a little okay. I got a little bored a little bit, but then let's see what do you have to say about. Let's start with Virginia and Eric.
So with Virginia, I don't think that he should be forcing her to have a baby. It's like I understand under these circumstances it is a rushed, process, but she barely know you. She don't even know she want to stay married to you. So why are you pressing her about these children? And you guys have so many other issues that need to be discussed or handled before you even have children. She still want to sleep on friends' couches. So who's supposed to watch the babies while she's on the couch drunk over her friend's house? Did you take any of these into consideration? She doesn't like to be told what to do. She doesn't want to do things. So, I mean, not even just on Virginia end. I just think she just shouldn't have a baby by Eric anyway because he's controlling. I've noticed some controlling, issues with him. He has some tendencies. And also with Eric, I don't like how he talks down to her. He talks to her like he's her daddy, and it's like kind of aggressive. It's just like, and when the cameramen are not there, and the other cameras are on, I guess he forgets they there, and he's cussing and he's acting like a different person. So I've just seen lately a part of Eric that I don't think that he would be father material. I understand he's older, but sir, just because you feel like you're older and you want to play with your children before your knees give out, don't force that young girl to have that baby.
Now, remember when you gave her the gift of the coordinates, you were like, you like that coordinates? I think that coordinates was to tell Virginia to run because to you it was a nice gift, but to me that those coordinates and that gift was telling Virginia, put on your track shoes and start to run for the hills because Eric, something is definitely wrong with Eric. He comes off a little psycho to me, but just low key
I
psycho.
told you. I said he looked like the type of person that had you in the basement, locked up, gagged, tied up. I something like is off about him. I'm good. I look at eyes. Something about his eyes just don't sit well with me. And I'm not even just being funny at this point. It's something about him that's a little like off, controlling. Mm. Virginia, run. Like I said, she's not ready to be married, but I don't think that he's a good fit for her because he's gonna take her over the edge. Did you hear like the last episode where she was talking about like her anxiety was already high, and ever since she's been dealing with Eric, it's been like to another level. And that's one thing you don't want to play with, and that's why I don't understand how these experts did this. Like, I don't know who you said. I forgot who you said should sue the show. Well, she should sue the show because at this point, her anxiety is going. I've dealt with anxiety, and when you have a situation that increases your anxiety, makes your anxiety go up, you don't need to be in that situation. So I'm scared for Virginia because she understands she has anxiety, and he's pushing her over the edge. And then he want to touch her on the couch. Okay, hold on. When he sees her, about to spaz out. Okay, it's gonna be okay, but you drove her over the edge.
Look, the problem I have with Eric is since Dr. Pepper told him to drop the situation with the dog, which I find he was right when he said he wants to control the dog a little bit because a dog can be a little overwhelming sometimes when you have a dog. But when the more disciplined the dog is, the more you can control it. And she now he felt like since he dropped the issue with the dog, like she said, she always planned her stuff. And to him, he just wanted to just drop everything on a weekend. Like if he come to her today and tell her, like, let's go out, he wants her to drop that whole situation and just go out with him. But it don't work so because if she plans something with her friends, you cannot just have her to just drop it. Because I still think he doesn't like her friends. He's just pretending to like her friends. But I felt that since he dropped the issue with the dog, he felt like she should just like be submissive. Like in that way, like she should just be submissive because he dropped one issue. So the issue is he's having with her, like if you just want to just go out with her, like she should just drop it, like just drop her friends and just go out with him. So it's like since he do something, like she have to do it as well. Like I say, like he comes across like a parent to me. He don't come across as a husband.
So Tessa, I do agree. You have to make your husband a priority. So I still stand behind that Virginia was not ready to get married because a lot of things that she's saying does not scream marriage. However, with Eric, I just don't like how he's treating her. I understand that you have a bad fit. They match you guys poorly, but some of his ways are screaming, run, run, run. I mean, like with the dog. Some men, I know a man that said that he was going to train his woman. Who says train? You train, like you said,
Yeah.
dogs, you train animals. And he said, well, by the time I'm finished with this person, she's going to be trained. And he told this to the woman's mother. And guess what? That woman, she can't leave without him. She won't say that she's controlled, but she is. And he successfully trained her. So I'm just scared that if Virginia stays into this marriage, it's going to be bad for Virginia. So again, she's not ready. I never said that I think she's mature, but the way Eric has shown himself lately, he's not getting any points over there.
Let's see what Diali got to say about it. What's up, Diali?
Hi, Kia, hi,
How
Dee.
Hi, Diali. Are you listening to Diali?
I am ready.
Did you see my boo this week?
You looking hot, girl. You better not be doing that for Chris.
No, did you see my boo, Jacob? Okay.
She's talking about Jacob.
Jacob is back on the market.
Yes, I told you that last week.
I don't know what you're seeing, Jacob, but
as long as you like 1983, you'll be all right, Kia.
Excuse me, Diali.
As long as you like 1983, you'll be all right.
You've been too generous, Diali. I think it's 1984.
Haley even admitted that he's reliable, he's loyal, he's stable, and the pickers is kind of slim out here. So with that beard, he kind of
listen, Haley. Yeah, Haley's only doing that now because she knows she's on her Jack Jones. She's on her way out. She too light.
Kia and Diali, you're gonna have a conversation about Jacob. But for me, Jacob sucks. I don't know. Look, Haley is not any better. Haley is not any better. But my issue with Jacob is from the starting of that season, Jacob giving corny jokes. Like he never really pay attention to Haley to say like he can understand her. And he just like she would tell him something and he'd be like he's zoned out, like he's probably in another world or something.
He's got no personality. He's got a body of a 40-year-old and he's got a mind of an 89-year-old. The man's got no personality whatsoever. You know, you think a man that looked that fine with a body, yeah, fair enough. You know, his face isn't for me. But somebody out there likes him, you know, but at the same time, the man does not try. He doesn't try. And to be honest, Haley needs to just sit her backside down. She's not old at herself.
All I'm saying is that Haley, she dogged him so bad, and it's just like, girl, like, give him a break. Like I said, he's it's somebody for everybody. So Jacob's gonna find him. He gonna, after this show is over, I'm sure his DMs are, you know.
Haley's definitely the one. She's not the one for him. She's not.
Yeah, Haley thinks she's the prom queen, and she ain't all that. Haley needs to go back to the trash can where they found her.
You know who I think that'd be a good match for Jacob? Clara, because Clara like to lick that licorice. Even if the two of them didn't get along, like she would still be pleasure in him. I think Clara would be a good match.
Listen, his nose and her Jay Leno chin. Can you imagine the children? Can you imagine how them children?
Allie, the nose wasn't so bad with the beard. So come on now.
Yeah, somebody gave him a makeover finally. I don't know if it was Martha Stewart that popped up, in my opinion, or someone. Somebody did something to him, because my man looked like he had a good shower. You know, he was groomed well. He was put together. Yeah, face is still busted, but like I said, I'm pretty shallow. Somebody out there likes him. Listen, he ain't gonna be lost for women. Oh, Auntie's watching. Hi, Auntie.
Hey, shout out to Auntie. Shout out, thank you, Auntie, for coming on in my comments. I really appreciate that, Auntie. And subscribe to Auntie. I was in Auntie comments recently when she was doing Ready to Love. Yo, Auntie is the best.
She is. I love Auntie. I watch her all the time. The time.
She's the best. But anyways, guys, let's get back to it. Yeah, well, you see, let's get past Haley and Jacob, because I don't want to really talk about Haley and Jacob. They kind of suck to me.
I agree.
Clara and Ryan. Clara and Ryan, there is definitely an elephant in the room. There is definitely an elephant in the room.
Yeah, he ain't into women. Look, let's start. He ain't into women. Listen, this woman has said clearly to Dr. Pepper, he's been in relationships where he's had no sex for years. Didi, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Kia. Listen, I ain't dealing with no man that I fancy that wants to hold hands. Yeah? Well, he can go hold hands at church. He can go church and hold hands. What kind of man are you going to be dealing with that doesn't want, he's been in relationships with no sex, and he cannot bring religion into it. He cannot, because he's having that girl use her chin and her neck like no tomorrow. Yeah, she's getting a good old workout with that mouth, let me tell you, and she's getting nothing in return. Wolverine needs to go back to Marvel or wherever they found him. And hold hands with the characters.
But Diali, did you see when he came back to the apartment, he didn't kiss on the lips, he kissed on the forehead.
Exactly. Listen, you're making this girl do that to you for how many weeks, and you don't even want to kiss her.
But you know what? That's her fault. You know what I think that was running through his mind is how many other guys that mouth been on. What I think that was
exactly. And the stupid part about it, this tells ladies, if you're listening out there, do not tell a guy your sexual history. Do not. He's good. He realized she's good with her mouth, and he thought, okay, I'm going to get some of that. I'm going to read the Bible with her in the morning, but hell no, I'm not kissing her on no mouth. Move herself.
Yeah, that shit. The two of them, and when he spoke to I think it's Dr. Pepper. He spoke to like he always like to make himself look polished, like to make himself look like he's the best, he's the perfect man. But that man, something is definitely wrong with Ryan. He's because he always tries to make the relationship look good, but he's talking about I find he's very selfish. He's talking about himself. He's not talking about the two of them. He's just talking about himself. And he's very, very selfish.
Listen, I'm with Dee. I'm over all these people, okay? Like, it's just like with them, Ryan, we've seen from early on that he likes those perfect appearances. Like I said, we're gonna go back to his kitchen. When you have the kitchen looking a certain way, and then you open up the cabinet door, and it's stuff falling all over. So I think that he's used to covering things up, trying to make things look good on the outside, even though I don't know how with that beard or that mustache doing that. I don't know where he got that from. BD, give him some tips. But regarding to Clara, I think he's rubbing off on Clara with that perfect, because notice that Clara really wasn't that way before she met Ryan. And now she's in the office talking about, so she's giving it a 10. How, girl? The preview, the show started off with you spazzing out with your girlfriends talking about, well, I'm this and then, did y'all see that part when they were all at the whoever house and they was fussing about him not having sex with her?
Yeah.
So at this point, it's just like, Clara, stop letting him manipulate you, make you feel like you gotta be quiet and you gotta live this perfect life or what he wants. Somebody else in the comments said, he's hiding something. I said that same thing too. I think he just wants a wife for appearance so he can have those 2.2 children and, have the church people say, okay, yeah, he has a wife and 2.2 children.
In my head, it's getting to a point where I think Clara is just delusional. And she's just trying to please Ryan, and she's going. I think she's going to go crazy trying to please Ryan, and then Ryan will not get to the point where they have sex, unless he wants to, which will still take a long time. Because he said he's been in relationships, and then he haven't had sex for like a year or something like that with the person. But I don't know how she expects her to be the one. I guess she must think because she's doing all those sexual pleasure and favors to him that she's the one, but I don't see it happening. And Ryan is not, I don't know, he's not ready for that kind of, he's not ready for that type of woman in his life, I should say. That's how I put it.
Wolverine don't want no woman in his life, Dee. Let's just stop beating around the bush, yeah? Wolverine don't want no woman in his life. He's got Jay Leno there, turning tricks at night to keep him happy. This man don't even want to kiss her on the mouth. He'd have to move himself with me. He ain't getting nothing from me. Why is it taking Clara weeks and weeks and weeks to realize this man ain't into you? He's just not that into you. And then he's throwing the church in it, man. He's throwing some kind of guilt trip on her to make, we're still going to be together. I'm throwing the church at you. Oh, our children. Listen, Wolverine, yeah, he needs to move himself and take himself out of it. He's not interested in her. We know you're not interested in women. Nothing ain't wrong with it, but just tell the truth. Stop fooling her. Tell the truth.
Tell me, what do you think about the way Ryan dress is really weird? The way he dressed.
That's what I said. What's up with that mustache? Let's start off with that.
The clothes too, like, I don't know, one time he have some big clothes on him where he looking like Master Yoda in Star Wars. Some of the time
he looks like a fool.
Say again, Diali? Diali, what did you say?
I don't know if we lost her. Diali.
Yeah, you must have lost her.
So I'm like,
my Wi-Fi is playing up.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you say?
No, I say, what did you say about the way he dressed? Because he dressed kind of funny to me.
He looks like a punk. He just looks stupid. He's got the stupid hair, he's got the Wolverine look, the big ears sticking out, knocking everything over when he walking, and then he's got Jay Leno turning tricks with him, and then, let's just drop the Bible in between the mix. Who's he telling this to? The man needs a stylist. He needs to get a good haircut. Nobody wants to see that Wolverine gel style anymore. We're done with it. That was old. X-Men done long time. What's he waiting for?
I'm like with Lauren in the comments. The truth will set you free. I'm not gonna get myself all worked up about it because, like I said, we already said Clara If you keep on giving out and you're not getting nothing in return, that's your fault. You're frustrated because you allowed yourself to get frustrated. Because why are you still continuing doing those acts? So I can't even like take her side. Just go sit down. Go to work. Go. She's a stewardess. Go ahead. Go leave. Go bye. And with him, like I said, he just need to tell the truth. It's something that he's hiding, and I just can't wait till it come out. Whether it's the next year or something. I hope we all still know each other because we are gonna be like, see, I told you, I told you.
Look, the someone said X-Men forever.
And Lauren, I don't think he's a virgin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think
X-Men. I too like X-Men, and I too think Wolverine had a banging body. But do I want to date Wolverine? No, I don't. No, I don't. You know, so Ryan, I don't want to date you either. You and your Wolverine look, you know, and your terrible dress sense. I mean, I just don't like the way he's leading her on. Yeah, she has a chin that's never ending. Fair enough. You know, nobody's perfect. But at the same time, he's making a fool of her.
I don't care. They've been like going at this for weeks now. So why are you still like performing? Stop it. You know.
Listen, she told him, right? She told him she's been using her neck and her mouth for many years and keeping those guys coming.
Go ahead, Didi.
No, she was saying my song.
Yeah, you gotta give it to us one time.
Yeah, like. do your song, Didi.
Man, my bad. The two of you are too messy. I ain't going into that song today.
You the one who brought it back to remembrance. When did that song come out? Like 1996? So you brought it back.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to be too messy today. But look, Clara said that's the first relationship she's had. That's a good relationship. So then I start to wonder, like, what type of men have Clara been dating? That's what I'm starting to wonder, because it seems like Clara must have been going behind douchebags or something, or that kind of. Because if Ryan is the first guy she literally have, that's something of substance. What happened to the men in the past? It just kind of.
Listen, how is Wolverine treating her good? Tell me how Wolverine is treating her good.
Exactly.
If this man, listen, if I have a man and this man said, listen, you know, it's time for me to go to sleep. Open up wide, you know, I'm gonna just slap him right in his mouth. I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna be so offended. But she seems to feel that is the way to keep somebody.
Yeah, like you said, she's Mrs. Pac-Man, gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah. She's right. She's listen, same way, you know, Sesame Street Boy, Jacob is back in the day in 1980s. She's still looking at the Game Boys and Pac-Man. You know, gobble, gobble, gobble. That's all she wants to do.
So I'm just saying, like, to me, I just want to scream and just like, oh my gosh, like these experts, like where did they get these people from? Did y'all go just to like find all the weak women and the narcissist men? That it's just like, how? Where did everybody couldn't have fooled y'all? If they did, you guys need to go ahead and rethink y'all process, because there's no way that some of these people should have been picked.
Yeah, you're right. Those experts need. I think you, the Ali, and myself could have done a better job. But right. Look, I got an Alexis that gave me a super sticker. Remember when we did our live on Saturday? There was Alexis, the woman from Ready to Love. Kia can't even remember. She was with the pastor.
I'm sorry, what you say?
Ready to Love. When we did our live on Saturday, there was an Alexis, the pastor. She was married to the pastor.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's an Alexis that sent me a super sticker. I'm wondering if it's her.
Oh. Well, sorry, honey. Alex, speak out. I'm sorry I said that, you know, some things.
But let's talk about Brianna and Vincent. Thanks for the super chat. Let's talk about Brianna and Vincent. Brianna. Okay, look, I don't know a woman's budget. Like how they like all those maintenance, like her hair, what's self-care, her hair, what else? She had a few other stuff other than the car notes, the utility bills.
Entertaining.
Is a woman like self-care, like self-maintenance, is it expensive? Like coming from you ladies, like is it
So
really
she's in
expensive?
America. So Bria's in America, and some of the things that she did say, I was telling you, Dee Dee, like the $250, that is the going rate for some braids.
That could be true.
And so, like I said, even some things like that, the older I get, some of my expenses I have cut down because, you have other priorities, or you're saving, or you're doing different things, or you're, whatever. But just like a pedicure, I walked out the other day. I'm like, what kind of pedicure? It felt good, but like, what kind of pedicure was that? Like for $80? Like,
Shit, $80.
it felt good, but I was like $80. Whoa.
She has money coming out of her ass, let me tell you. And my man is starting up his business, and he's thinking, I ain't keeping this squeaky voice woman. I ain't keeping her.
So I'm gonna tell you why he was nervous, Dee. That means he got to work hard. When you meet a guy, and this came from my ex, he was like, "You pretty expensive." He's like, "I hope your new boo know you cost a lot." So when you look at a girl that has like high, I guess, standards or high taste, expensive taste, he's just looking like he was that ring. I thought he was gonna like lose the ring. He was just like his nerves were bad. Like, hold on, what?
I wasn't surprised. We all have seen Stanford, and so I wasn't surprised. He said, "Oh, it's a big one. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming," because when he saw that thing came to $9,000, I swear if he didn't go to stroke. Like he must have seen a ghost, or he's like, "Oh,
I know." I was like, Dee, go save him, because he was like, he was meeting somebody, and he knows. So what if one day she like, "Oh, babe, can you get my hair done?" He like, "What? The starting rate is $250. Like, hold on." He like, "What I get into?"
Well,
he can't afford that chick. He can't afford that chick at all. She's got a. I would say I would divorce her. I'm sorry, she's too expensive. She doesn't even want to compromise.
But really, look, Kia just said in America, maybe in the UK, because you live in the UK, it might be the prices might be different. But then Kia was saying that she understands. So
I don't even tell you how much, like, this hair I have on today. If I told you how much it costs, you'd be like, "Woo!" But it don't look like Paige's hair though.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No hair could look like Paige's hair. Not even the greasy cat from Love After Lockup hair. No hair could look like that. Listen, I know hair costs a lot. I got a daughter that she cost me a lot of money for hair. But I know some of them good weaves, they're 500 UK pounds easy per month.
Okay, so Dee, you understand. So the guy, he's like, she, I get kind of what Bree was saying. Like, okay, if I was doing all this prior to you, don't try to put me on a budget. And I met a guy that was like that. He, I'm like, okay, I have a certain standard over here. Kia Simone, I got a certain standard. So he came in the kitchen trying to put me on a budget. I'm like, dude, I ain't never been on no budget. Like, what? You want me to eat these ramen noodles with you?
But that in the comments was right. Yeah, Brianna is high maintenance, but I'm sorry, if you work hard, and some of the jobs that we as people, we have to work really hard for that dollar. Yeah, we have to take abuse from your boss. You have to work with people who are just complete a-holes. So you want to, if she can afford it, if she's earning good money, spend your money on yourself. Why not?
Well, Auntie, and when Auntie and read Auntie comment. And then with Auntie, I understand, because every time I look at Auntie's channel, Auntie hair always popping. So we know Auntie is probably spending some good money and some good hair, because she always looks sweet.
Auntie got that good hair.
Auntie got that good hair.
I don't jump to any conclusions when I saw the amount of money she spent on herself, because I know with women, with a man, some men are simple, because I'm a simple guy. I would not spend so much money on clothes and shoes, like I'll probably buy something I like or wait for a sale. But that's just me. But then I know with women it's different. Women have to make sure they take care of themselves.
It's a difference. So if you meet a girl that doesn't have those standards, and you try to take, if you meet a girl, like I said, that she don't have any money, then when she meets you, then she's like, "Oh, I want you $500 hair, $600 hair." That's a different story. But Bree was doing this prior to Vincent. So with him coming in the picture, trying to put her on this, like, look like, well, can we stay in the house? She like, stay in the house? I've never been in the house. Like, when I go on vacation, I go on vacation for real, for real. So if a guy be like, well, let's go stay at the Motel 6. Don't judge me, y'all. I don't want to stay at the Motel 6.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If you work, listen, you work hard for your money, you're entitled to good things. Good for her. I have to say, Bree, it's a lot of money, but if she can afford it, why not? Listen, if broke Champagne Vinny doesn't want to maintain her financially, I'm sure he can find somebody else cheaper down the block. But she ain't. I don't want her to lower her standards for him. Do not lower your standards for him.
And Damsel said another thing. I was with a guy. Okay, I spend my money on certain things which are important to me, and he liked cars. So he would put engines in cars, race cars and all those things like that are expensive. So don't, mess with me. So I'm sure like it could be a compromise, but some things are a necessity. Like if you got a job, you got to look nice. I can't go to my job with the page wig, no.
Yeah.
But do you guys think he was being serious when he said, "Oh, we can just buy a pool table and put in the house, so we can stay in the house"?
Man, he'd be in by himself, DD. He'd be
in
all by himself.
So I'm getting that he's a homebody anyway. So he's trying to like make her, conform to what he wants to do, and she's gonna be miserable because she likes to get out. She likes to taste food. Now again, there could be a compromise because over the years I have made certain compromises. Some things are not as important, to me, and some things are. Some things I consider an investment. But he's gonna make her miserable if he say, "Well, you can't get this, or let's not do this."
Well, I can tell he's a homebody by that big old gut that he's sporting. Yeah, and he'd be able to stay in there, him and his gut, him and the pool table, all by himself. Listen, after my bad marriage broke down, I'm gonna live. None of us, listen, tomorrow is not promised to none of us. Yeah. So broke Champagne Vinny looks like him and this pool table and his tight shirts will be in the house all by himself when Brianna's sporting that $9,500 body. He can move himself.
But this is a lesson for everyone that's not on the show. We like to give out lessons here every now and then, So when you meet somebody, you have to be your true self. And like I said, put it out on the table. Like, Auntie put in there that that she likes nice things. So if you know that you have certain things that you like I like handbags. So I treat myself once a year to a nice handbag. Okay, I had to limit it. First I was going wild, but now that I'm older, okay, retirement comes sooner than you think. You like, ooh, you wake up, at that point. So yes, right now she's living her best life. She's 30 something.
But what do you guys think when Vincent said that Brianna wants to wake him up the same time she wakes up? Like,
she's selfish. She's
that
selfish.
Put me out, Dee. I was in my house like, what?
Yeah, she's selfish.
I wish a man would have. Okay, first of all, you sit down. Let's replay this, D. Alley. You gonna sit down with another grown person and say, well, I noticed that you go to bed real late. So maybe if you go to bed a little early, you can get up earlier. And do what? What are you trying to get me to do? What's productive for you? What
exactly.
do you consider productive?
Control.
I'm not a morning person. So if y'all don't know right now, I'm a writer. So I write. My juices flow at night. So yes. A man can't come in here and say, well, Kia, let's have a talk. I think if you go to bed at 10, you can get up and write at 5 o'clock with a cup of coffee. I don't want to write at 5 o'clock a.m.
Yeah. She be wearing that coffee. She waking me up them crazy hours. If I want to sleep in my house, I'm working. I'm gonna sleep in. There she have the goal to disturb me at no time. She would have to find a hotel room and wake up all by herself. She ain't waking me up them crazy hours. We're not on that level.
But D. Alley, we had a whole discussion with some another panel where we was talking about bossy and controlling whatever, regardless of whichever one you want to name it. That was a bit much. That was controlling. Like, you want him to wake up when you wake up. You really don't have a valid reason. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not a morning person. Anybody that knows me, do not talk to me like until 10 o'clock a.m.
I'm the same.
And I'm still not all the way there until around 11ish.
Nah, she doing too much with that because she would have tried to wake me up in the morning. All she would have seen is probably seen me probably getting up and probably getting on the phone or to book me a hotel, and she would have seen me the next day, because you're not going to try and wake me up and have me to wake up the same time you wake up, and then you know how hard I work, or I don't know what arrangement they are, but like Pastor Carl, I think it was Pastor Carl told Vincent needs to be himself. Vincent needs to start speaking up. He needs to show his real self. Because at this point, Vincent is just pretending, I think, to just go along with the flow. And there are a lot of issues that are bothering him, but he's just not saying it. Like, he's just like, oh, okay, honey, this, that.
Didi, let me tell you, he knows how bad he's coming across on this show. So he's holding it down. He's keeping cool. You wait till that man broke out. She's going to be on the ID channel. Let me tell you, she's going to be on that channel because he is really gritting his teeth with her. He's getting pissed off by the second with her. She's annoying as hell. Who is she waking up at that crazy hour?
And D. Alley, I was trying to give her the benefit because I was like, okay, is he just at home being a bum? So that's a different story if he just waking up, laying around all day, like in depression, like, oh, I just lay around the house all day. So I'm like, or is that what she's trying to say? But again, if he's being productive and he's taking care of his business, why do you care what time he wake up? So you want me to wake up earlier so I can go to bed earlier? What sense do that make? If that's, I think she just wants a friend. I think she just thinks marriage was like, oh, now I have a live-in boyfriend, a live-in friend, a live-in, person. I'm confused.
She's selfish.
Yeah. Shout out to Busy Blue. You guys should subscribe to his channel. His channel is really good as well. Ian Jolin, they make me laugh. Let's talk about the couple of the hour. Chris and
I've been angry all day. I've been so angry all day. That busted ass black man coming with, he wanted a better looking woman. Who the hell does he think he is talking about her like that? Paige is a good woman. She's a good woman. There ain't nothing wrong with Paige. Yeah, none of us, look, I think none of us are perfect, but I do think this is a colorist thing he's looking at. And no one can tell me any different. That trash bag that he brought along that claiming to be his baby mother, now I know they only came on the show to really laugh after Paige, really in her face and say, look at me compared to you. But look, what kind of nasty, he's an ugly person on the inside, he's an ugly person on the out. And I hope everybody boycotts him because he's a horrible person.
Yeah, because that's why I put Super Narcissist. Chris wants to blame Pastor Carl. He wants to blame the matchmakers. He blames everybody but himself. And he's talking about, oh, well, Paige don't look well, Paige. But yet still you want to have sex with Paige every night.
But Didi, his arrogance is a whole nother level. When he was talking to Pastor Cal, let's rewind, okay? Because y'all know I got to give it. First of all, how you just show up late? That's totally disrespectful. First of all, I understand you could be running a little late, but even if I know I'm running late, I'm going to call you like, hey, Didi, I'm running a little late, blah, blah, blah. So that's number one sign that you just got this arrogance about yourself and you were just pushing it with Pastor Cal just to test the boundary. To see how far he was going to let you go. So I don't care for Lifetime or anybody else. Pastor Cal should have been like, we not taping nothing with you, sir. Yana Van Zant, her show Fix My Life, she'll tell you, you're wasting my time.
And send him a fine. Give him the fine. He's wasted their time. Give him the fine.
He shouldn't even got that. I don't care if it was for Raise to teach us. He needed to have been taught at that moment. You cannot waste people's time. Time is valuable.
Look,
they should never have given no airtime. Never have given no airtime.
Pastor Carl was being too nice. Like I said, I'll tell Chris, take your 350 Walmart shirt, those checkered pants, your ashy ankles, get you some shea butter, put some shea butter in your ankles, go get a haircut and come back. Because sometimes you just have to just be real with people when you see they try that BS. Because after he came there late, he's trying to look for all the reasons in the world. He's looking for all reasons in the world for him to discredit his bad behavior on national television.
Someone just said he's an embarrassment to men, his mother, his daddy, his grandmother, the people that came before him. there's no reason for Chris to act this poorly. That behavior, we didn't like Chris before, but when he showed that arrogance with Pastor Cal, that was a whole nother level. And then he straight checked Pastor Cal when he was talking about y'all should have knew better than pairing me up with someone that's not attractive. Okay, first of all, when he said it, he was looking like, and y'all know, I was like, ugh, how you gonna talk about somebody? But at that point with Chris, he was like arguing with Pastor Cal about, I wanted somebody that's attractive, cute in the face.
Whoa.
Pastor Cal said, you said you were open. So again, you making it like Paige is like got rolled up under somebody's bus and the bus ran her over. I understand her wig wasn't all that good, but Chris, stop playing. Like, why he do her like that? And for him to say that he has to have this girl that's so hot, you're not hot. I wouldn't look at Chris twice.
Well, you know what made me mad? You know what made me mad? This boy looked like he's a bulldog chewing on a wasp. Yeah, and Paige has to take responsibility for this. I'm sorry. I have been with some really messed up people. But at the same time, anybody tries to humiliate me, I'm not going to humiliate them. I'm going to come for them. Yeah, Paige should never have let this guy touch her again. After that morning, he said he's not attracted to her, and she still carry on laying down his fool. That she needs to take responsibility for him. She needs to take responsibility for that. She let this guy use her body for nothing.
The alien here, what got under my skin is when that man had the audacity to say he invited Paige to go with him and shop for a car for Mercedes. Who does that?
The audacity.
A narcissist.
The audacity. Like what? Like Chris, I'm telling you, he know who to do that too. Cause my nickname be sometimes Hood Bougie. The Hood Bougie will come out. He know who to do that too. I would have like Chris. Chris would have been in the corner crying, sucking his thumb, asking for his mama, flat out messing with me. Chris, you got the right one. He knew who to do that stuff too. Chris, he know. He weak. Weak people mess with weak people, and he knew that his page was weak, and that's why he did that. Well, my thing is, Dee, now I'm on the roll now because y'all shouldn't even got me started. Chris, like when Dr. Pepper told Paige, like when she was asking for answers, sis, let me be clear to you. In life, sometimes you don't have to get answers to everything. Everything doesn't have an answer, and sometimes the answer might be a lie anyway, so why you want it? So at that point, it's just like, oh, y'all, I'm out of breath. Like, for real, Chris, the audacity of Chris is just so wrong in so many ways. And I understand they said he tricked them, but y'all need to just take him off the show and get that girl some counseling.
I'm getting married to a man that has short trousers. This man's pants is too tight. Yeah, his pants is too short, and his foot is dry. His foot is so damn dry. Yeah, and he coming with that same old messed up hairstyle, thinking he look hot. Yeah, Chris, you ain't all that. You ain't all that. He probably not even good in bed anyway. You know, he's laying it down to her because he blackmailed her into sleeping with him using the Bible and using the marriage. That's what he did, because he worked on her nerve with the religion, because he knew that was her weak spot.
But D. Alley, what's so sick about it is when Pastor Cal, he's talking to Pastor Cal, and it's just like, what did Paige do to you? What type of crazy person just has it in for somebody that they barely know? You've only known this woman less than 3 months. So why are you intentionally trying to put that dagger in her and turn it and like, pull it out and then put it back in? It's like, what type of person thinks like that? Because even Dr. Pepper said he's trying to hurt you. Why is it so intense? Why is he so like focused on hurting that girl?
Because he hates women of darker skin. I'm telling you, he's a colorist. I can see it. I can see it a mile.
To be honest, I don't think it have to do with color. I think that man is just an asshole.
Yes, definitely. He's that and many more people.
Anybody that behaves that way, they don't like themselves. So you always have to consider that. So anyone that's listening, if somebody's out there mistreating you or doing you bad, again, take this from Kia Simone. Sometimes you don't need an answer. Sometimes you just need to walk away, because some answers are not even worth hearing. Just let it go. Take it to God. Keep it moving. So with that being said, Chris is just,
He's a busted, broke baller. Chris is a busted, broke baller with dry ass ankles and mash up clothes. Yeah, him talking about he buying Mercedes for Mercedes. Listen, Mercedes and her tiny titties ain't got money for run no Mercedes. She probably don't even have gas money. Yeah, so she's sitting there with her legs crossed like she's some diva. Move yourself.
Listen.
She'd have to move herself from me. Paige did good. Paige is a lady. She's a lady. Because I tell you something, I would have dragged the two of them by their hair. They would never have messed with me.
I honestly, and then Paige, the problem I have with Paige seems like she's still in denial, and like she seems like she's still blaming herself for all what went wrong.
And that's why I said that sometimes you don't need an answer. Sometimes I used to be that chick. That's why I say I can relate to Paige.
Yeah.
When you like, well, what did I do? And what happened? What could have? Girl, get over it. Some people you just don't. Some things you just don't need an answer to, because they don't even have a good answer. Chris is not even in a space where he even. I wouldn't trust nothing that Chris says. If Chris told me my address that I could see outside, I wouldn't believe that that's my address just because Chris gave it to me. Chris, she need to just give it up. And again, that's why I told D when he was giving her kudos a couple of weeks ago, I was like, Dee, I still don't trust her, because Paige just goes with the flow. I bet you Paige got 100 self-help books in her house that she's not applying to her life, because she likes to like say what we want to hear. Paige just want to say everything that sounds good. She wants this picture perfect life. Paige, go get her some help. Go Dialli, go that line and get her together.
And why does Paige still want to face this busted broke baller? Why does she still want to face him? Listen, him and his dry foot, yeah, and his mash up wannabe baby mother, they'd have to take a seat somewhere. I don't want to see them ever again in life.
But didn't you notice, like, Paige, I don't know, for some reason, that's the feeling I got. The way she came in that red dress on her head. Didn't you see, like, she wanted to look like Mercedes, like, probably dressed like Mercedes a little bit?
Yeah,
like,
she's sexing it up. You can see she's sexing it up. But, darling, them wigs ain't working for you, honey. Them wigs ain't working. Please, somebody call in and help Paige. Let's do a GoFundMe for a wig, because this girl must be able to afford a good wig, surely.
She's probably still not going to put it on right, Dialli, but anyhow. I just want her. I just pray that she, stop making a fool of herself and just, let it go. Because first of all, Chris, I wouldn't even want no answers from Chris. At this point, block your number and let Little Ugly deal with him.
Kia, we both know. I've been in that same spot where you're in denial. You're in denial so much you think the River Egypt is called denial. It ain't called denial. It's denial. But Paige is deluded. Paige is absolutely deluded. Why do you think her brother was not interested? Because he's seen it all before. Paige should never have let this guy sleep with her. But she carried on letting, a broke, busted, E.T. looking broke, yeah, I mean, which business does he own?
Oh my God. So you're saying, okay, so from a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Chris? People in the
0.
comments can, what would your ladies in the comments, what would you rate Chris? From a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Chris?
Dee, why are you entertaining it? Like, you didn't ask for it.
What would you rate Chris? Kia, let me hear, what would you rate Chris?
Dee. Okay, first of all, I never thought he was attractive from day one. Never. Now, with your attitude, you're at a -10, okay? The other way. So it's your attitude carries a lot of weight. So every time I look at him, I can't see nothing but his evil ways. Even his eyes scare me now. When I look at his eyes, I'm like, oh my gosh. Don't y'all, like, for real, Dialli? Did you notice his eyes? Did you look at his eyes?
What's wrong with his eyes? Is there something resting on his eyes? I'm telling you, he's related to E.T. needs to go home. Go home, Chris. E.T. gone home long time. Move yourself with your dry foot.
And Amani said nice hair. Somebody earlier said he had a bad perm. So Amani, you giving him credit for the hair?
Exactly. With him dry foot. And yeah, go and buy a blue suit instead of buying Mercedes. Buy another suit. You and your pound shop suit. Who you telling that to about you got money? You ain't got no money.
My God, you're a bad. Everybody's negative 001.
He made it this way, and then he keeps on adding to it. It's just like, little boy, go sit down. I mean, I don't even know how he could come out of this. Like, like a lot of people do these shows for Instagram or to build up their following or whatever career path they're going. Well, who would want to do business with you, Chris, after this? If you treating a woman, I don't care if you just met her. Anybody that treats anybody like this, I wouldn't want to do business with you, because if you do it to her, you would do it to me in a business sense. So I don't know what he expected to gain from this.
The simple fact, he's sitting there smirking at Pastor Cow. He turned up late. He turned up with his dry ass foot, and his perm, and his soggy eyes, his soggy ET looking eyes. Talking about he could have found a better queen. Who are you telling that to? He lucky Paige even look at him good. I tell you something, I would slap Paige for even looking at that broke man. Listen, tell Subway he needs a job. He needs a job because he cannot afford a good woman like Paige. She's a good woman, and all she needs to do is love herself, find herself, and kick ET back home. Chris, go home. Hashtag ET go home, Chris.
Well, I'm about to wrap this up because look, we just tired of Chris. At this point, I guess we should just say prayers, send our prayers out to Paige, and boy, I don't think prayers can save Chris, because Chris, I think that's just his personality, and he'll never change. And if any woman take Chris serious, it's maybe because they probably see they can probably get money from him, but Chris is not.
He ain't got no money. You won't see his dashed out in the front of Subway. He ain't got no money.
But that's what I'm saying, Diali, because you never know. To each his own. One man's trash is another man's treasure. The same way it goes to women. So you never know. But for me, my advice to women: stay away from men like Chris, because Chris is not a good catch. That man don't respect women. That man is an idiot. I don't know. Look, nobody's perfect, but jeez, no. That's way. He's doing way too much. So, Diali, let's go. What's your last thoughts?
Yeah, Paige, darling, start loving yourself. I had to learn the hard way. I don't know what you've had in your life before. And Chris, if you want me to, post some lotion to you so you can oil your dry ass foot and some hair gel, let me know. Send me a message through Instagram or anything, and I will send them to you, because obviously you're a broke ET looking black man. Move yourself. You ain't all that.
Kia, what's up? Tell us, Kia, Simone.
I'm exhausted. Okay. These episodes are draining me. Like, are you serious? But I just hope that after they watch the show, everybody that watched the show, that they'll get some type of learning, or the people that are watching it, they will learn something from it, what not to do and what to do. Because again, it's just pure foolishness. I mean, like all the couples, it's just like they're changing their you do compromise when you get married, but it's a lot of dysfunction. And like I said, we blame the experts. Like I said, Diali, DD, we could have did a better job.
Yeah, definitely.
And guys, don't forget to subscribe. Go subscribe to Kia's channel. Don't forget to get Kia's book.
Yes, my book, From Pain to Love.
Yeah, let's show Kia some support. Go subscribe to her channel. What I have to say about Married at First Sight, a lot of people are complaining and saying like this season is trash, it's bad, it's this, it's that, that's the worst. For me, this season was just very educational. That's just from my standpoint, because it shows women the amount, like it shows women, and it also shows the kind of toxicity there are in marriages, and the vulnerability some people put themselves in, and how people can manipulate some people to get what they want, or get them to do what they want them to do, or who they want them to be. So it's basically like showing you all the red flags, and then people should probably just look at Married at First Sight this season, and basically just not to be that person. Like, don't be a victim of mental abuse. Don't be a victim of manipulation. Do not allow a narcissist to come into your life. And it just shows so many things. It brings a lot of stuff into light for me. So I just want to say, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Let's just be supportive to each other. Love one another. Love yourself before you love anybody else. And peace and love. Basically, that's what I have to say about it. And on free, we out of here. Kia, Diali, 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.